Now to the ambulance response crisis in Multnomah County. Today, a full court press from all angles, elected leaders and first responders alike, all advocating for the one paramedic, one EMT model. Yesterday, County Chair Jessica Vega Pederson rejected a proposal to change the ambulance staffing model from its current two paramedic policy. Today's gathering of leaders included two Multnomah County commissioners, Portland and Gresham council members, the Portland and Gresham fire chiefs, AMR leaders, and others. Many of the people in power who say this change is necessary and needed immediately to save lives. Here's Commissioner Sharon Myron, who's been banging this drum for months.
I don't know how anyone at the county, frankly, can go to bed at night knowing that during that evening, people will be calling 911 and desperate for a response to their emergency, and an ambulance may not be able to respond, that someone may die because county leadership hasn't taken action. In the time between the press release yesterday and the board meeting, where apparently the county chair will be talking about something about AMR, EMS, there will be around 300 level 0 calls, meaning that there is no ambulance able to respond at that time. Action will save lives. Inaction will cost them. No one should have to wonder whether they should call 911 or Uber. Right now, there's literally nothing I can think of that's more urgent. Thank you.
Just hours before this political power play, Portland City Council voted for a resolution urging Multnomah County to switch to a one-on-one model. Commissioner Renee Gonzalez said he and Portland fire officials have been studying this for a year. It's not a light or reactionary recommendation, and they believe it's crucial to do this immediately. Here's Mayor Ted Wheeler explaining why he supports the change.
This is obviously a critical issue, and I definitely appreciate the testimony that we heard today. From my perspective, this is a no-brainer. And we don't often get no-brainers coming to Portland City Council. When our neighbors, or frankly, we or our loved ones have an emergency, the only thing that people care about at that moment is getting help as quickly as possible.
Now, this groundswell of support means not so much, unless one of two people change their mind. Multnomah County EMS Director Dr. John Jew, who strongly believes in the need for a two paramedic system in Multnomah County, and Chair Vega Pederson. Dr. Jew has the power to set the standards for EMS staffing, and Vega Pederson, as chair, could override him. Here on The Story, we've extensively covered their reasoning in favor of the two paramedic system. We've featured interviews with both Dr. Jew and Vega Pederson dating all the way back to March of last year. Now, before we get to some of your responses from last night, if you'd like to share your thoughts with the chair on this topic, here's how you can get involved. The email is molt.chair@multco.us. We know a lot of you are passionate about this subject. We hear from you daily. Here's another place to send your thoughts. That email one more time, molt.chair@multco.us. Now let's get to some of your thoughts on our big story from last night on this ambulance crisis, and boy, there were a lot. The majority of your comments were in favor of allowing AMR to temporarily switch to a one paramedic, one EMT model, but not everyone feels that way. Some agree with Multnomah County Chair Jessica Vega Pederson, who says AMR should be penalized for not meeting contractual standards and needs to fix the problem themselves. But let's start with those of you who say change is needed.
The other 35 counties in Oregon have the one-in-one system in place, and it's working fine. The health and safety of the Multnomah County residents are much more important than the ego of the Multnomah County chairman, and her attitude is unbelievably irresponsible.
Ken wrote in, Jessica Vega Pederson's stance regarding AMR's proposal is short-sighted, life-threatening, and irresponsible. Staffing ambulances with the one paramedic, one EMT model may not be what the contract contemplated and may not be ideal, but it is a pragmatic compromise under the circumstances. He went on, as a resident of Multnomah County, I would much rather have more ambulances in service and response times reduced. Enough with political grandstanding. It's time to make life-saving decisions and face reality.
It seems that Ms. Pederson wants to play I'm the boss and I don't have to listen to you. There is a simple solution for her to hire the paramedics herself and see how many responses she gets. She needs to listen to the people who do the work and do the job instead of second-guessing them.
And Tricia chimed in, AMR is asking for a temporary compromise, not a permanent change. The only bully I see is Jessica Vega Pederson. She would rather have her way and let people die than to bend for a few months. So that's the gist of the majority of your comments last night following our story. But others pointed to what Vega Pederson had to say yesterday, that AMR is at fault here, especially considering their recent expansion into Washington County.
I know there are people wanting to make Vega Pederson look bad in this AMR situation, but she does have an important point, and that is that AMR did sign a contract that stipulated that 2 paramedics should be on each ambulance. And secondly, I think it's abominable that AMR couldn't keep the contract that they had with Portland, yet they sought and won a contract with Washington County, further diminishing their capability to service Portland and the surrounding Multnomah County areas.
Jeremy wrote into us, as a frontline paramedic in Multnomah County, speaking on behalf of the AMR paramedics, we strongly support Chair Jessica Vega Pederson and Dr. Jew. We, the paramedics, actually responding to your emergencies, 100% support the dual medic system and actually strongly opposed to the lesser alternative. He went on, AMR and Myron are spending this to meet financial goals. If this system changes, it will definitely result in a paramedic exodus, even greater than what AMR is currently producing. We are not burnt out from Multnomah County. We're burnt out from AMR.
I am a 29-year paramedic in the state of Oregon. More than 20 of those were at AMR. And I support the 2 paramedic response in Multnomah County because it is different than other area counties as far as the fire response that is currently being received in Multnomah County. It is different than Clackamas County and Washington County fire responses. So you cannot compare the 3 counties.
So that's a look at the competing sides here. And before we wrap this up, let's answer another question that many of you have, which Justine asked in a voicemail.
I'm 66 years old. If crisis hit and I needed an ambulance for a life-threatening issue, I don't believe AMR would respond nor help me, and I die. I think if somebody was doing that poorly a job, they would be fired. Why isn't AMR?
Put another way, basically, why doesn't Multnomah County just ditch AMR for another ambulance provider? Well, AMR has been here for decades, and there are deep roots there that would be difficult to break off from, sure. But more importantly, who would take AMR's place? Unless Multnomah County wants to run its own ambulance service, which would take a major overhaul, there aren't many obvious choices for a replacement. Metro West Ambulance, based in Hillsborough, could be one, but they just lost the Washington County contract to AMR. That significantly stripped down their staffing levels, and they'd need an incredible jump to take on the biggest county in Oregon. Plus, there's no guarantee that a new provider would produce better response times or be immune to staffing challenges. So, will the county bend on its 2 paramedic requirement as the chorus against it seemingly grows each day? We'll be watching, and you can expect the story team to bring the very latest as it happens.